Right now, I'm watching my Bruins, and not currently watching them, but I've been watching like our recent contests, which is the norm for me to be checking out my teams, right? And, Iowa definitely and UCLA as well. But what I'm noticing is that, that fire in our belly, we got to make sure it's there all the time. And I don't know if I'm not going to sit here and say we kicking back in our recliners, feeling good about ourselves because we know we defeated South Carolina. But I've been watching us, and I need to see the intensity just, go flying off the radar. It's imperative. It is completely a necessity that we play each and every game with everything we have. Because if you look at a team like South Carolina, they're scary. And we would trick ourselves to believe we wouldn't run into them down the road. And you look at a team with the mental willpower of, say, a LSU as well as a South Carolina. And we need to make sure we maintain our sharp edge, our composure. We got to make sure we stay competitive because teams understand something. They look and they see number one is UCLA. And if we show cracks in our armor, if we look like, we satisfied, that's not good. And I'm not here to say that we're not giving it all that we have. I'm just saying we got to make sure we playing up to the best of our capabilities. We got to make sure we maximizing our potential. We have to stay hungry, because, okay, look, congratulations. You knocked off their number one team in the country at the time in South Carolina. Because of the strength of your win over them, we got the number one spot. We played Hawaii, and it was 32-29 at halftime. In the second half, we kind of got loose and did our thing. We recently played Washington last. They played us very hard. And at times it looked like we would pull away, but we never quite pulled away. It took huge and epic and ones by Kiki Rice and also Lauren Betts to kind of, hold Washington at bay. And I understand that every game ain't gonna be pretty, not for any team. For no team is every team gonna have every game. Excuse me. No team is gonna have every game where it's like, okay, you can just kind of, roll your way, cakewalk, stroll your way to victory. But, it's just important to make sure, it's pertinent that we continue to play with that fire in our belly. Kiki Rice, absolutely playing fantastic basketball. Absolutely. Lauren Betts playing completely superstar basketball. She's leading the team in rebounding, with 10 a game, averaging 19.7 points per game. Just playing terrific basketball, averaging 2 blocks and 2 assists per game. If she wanted to come out to the WNBA draft this year, she'd be easily a top 4, top 5 pick. But I just, when I watch this team, I want us to remain focused on what we could do special this season. And, I don't know how other UCLA fans feel. I don't know how other, women's basketball fans feel at the end of the day per se. But me personally, I'm not happy if the biggest thing about our season is we knocked off South Carolina. Like, okay, that was fantastic to do, right? But for me, I'm simply not satisfied with that if that's the conclusion of the greatest thing we did. Like, because I've been saying from the get-go, it's Final Four or bust. So you need to get there, figure out how to get to the championship game. You're going to have to scratch and claw, do whatever it takes, show the intestinal fortitude, show the mental, fortitude to be able to win these big games, as they continue to come, because the truth of the matter is, people don't nobody say or feel like, okay, they could do it again. Like, could we do it again? And even if it's not South Carolina that we was to face again, in the future, could we knock off a UConn? Are we hungry enough? Are we dogged, determined, and driven enough, to want it? Can we knock off of LSU? Can we knock off of Texas? So, I'm watching this now, and we need to be pounding these teams that we playing. We need to be going into these games, putting these opponents down, as quick as possible. Salute to Washington, nice team over there, but we should be looking consistently like a national championship contender. And again, you're number one, and the fall from number one could happen swiftly. Anybody could upset you, and if I'm watching games and I'm getting tight, I wonder how others feel. Now, I told you guys many a times before, Kiki Rice and Lauren Betts, those two are truly special. And we will go. I know we got quality depth. I know this. I know our transfers out of the portal are nice. I understand, we got players that can get extremely hot from shooting it from three, London, Gabriella. I get all these things. But this team will only go ultimately as far as our two superstars, future pros, Kiki Rice and Lauren, take us. Now, saying that, there are other players on this team that I mentioned, like Arnie Salo or Gabriella Hawkeyes or London or even Janiah Barker or Tamia Gardner. They got to step up and play huge. We got a great, wonderful recruiting class, but they don't. Those players are not coming into play because they're not going to be playing, for the most part, critical minutes and stuff like that. But, again, great. You knocked off SC. Wonderful, right? But you're number one team, and you just got to play like it consistently. And maybe I'm judging too harsh, maybe too harsh and too hard. But at the end of the day, your eyes need to remain on the prize, and you need to play every game super competitive. And if you play an inferior opponent, you got to figure out how to get them up out of here. You got to be a dominant team. And for me, I think as great as it is to have a Lauren Betts, I just feel like everybody else has to get it going. And London has not looked too great since the upset. Gabriella has been good. Gabriella would do, anything requested. She'll get the rebound. She'll make the right pass. She hits threes. She's scrappy. She'll hustle. She'll board. All those things. She'll do all of those things. She'll go to get foul, go to the free throw line. But yeah, we'll go far. I believe that we will. But if we won the chance or opportunity to get our hands on a national championship, it's going to be Lauren. We're going to need Lauren to have an incredible year that she's having. Ride that into the postseason. Kiki, hopefully she will stay healthy. And then everybody else has to fill their roles to the T. It's essential and it's a must. But yeah, they coming for us. They're coming for us. They're coming for us. And it ain't just us. Whoever takes that number one spot, say we drop it, then that team that gets back, it's SC, Texas, UConn, number one spot is 100. And that's the way it is, and that's the way it's always been. So with that being said, I need my Bruins to focus and lock in. Yeah, we got some talent around here that's extremely great, but we can't lose that edge, man. We cannot lose that edge. And for me, look, it's not about what we did before. It's what can we do to get to the Final Four and a national championship game. That's what it's about. With that being said, y'all, like the video, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below. Y'all know I speak back. With that being said, let me get up out of here. I'm going to holler at y'all.